In order.
Right? Oh,
Sorry. Wow.
got it. Okay, over to you, Chair.
Yeah.
Matt, you can hear? You're okay?
Oh, I lost
Yep,
my
okay.
glasses. Okay, I'll do the best I can.
Muted.
Hey,
Okay,
Dan.
I just saw that I was muted, but I'm good now.
You're good? Okay, perfect.
No, those are my regular, those I can't. Okay, call the meeting to order. Okay. There's no pecuniary interest. I go with that. Adoption of the minutes. Has everybody read the minutes from the last meeting?
Oh, good.
Any questions? Any errors or omissions? Can I please have a motion to accept the minute?
Gonna mover, Mark, Kevin, all those in favor?
Okay.
John,
So
perfect.
now we've done that. Can we just move over and let Sean do his thing?
Yes, sorry, we have Matt. Matt Ellis is in attendance. He is our senior planner. And he's here today to answer any of the questions that you guys have pertaining to the application site plan for the Simcoe County Elementary School. And that he can provide a little bit more information if you need it, but I did include some of the drawings and stuff in there. So did anybody have any questions for Matt about that, or are we good?
Matt, the meeting's yours.
Thank you. Good morning. So I'm just really here just to answer any questions that you have that I can answer. But my understanding from Laura is the inquiry was regarding accessible parking spaces. If the school is to be multiple stories, and if so, if there will be a lift or elevator, accessible washrooms provided. Will the doorways and hallways meet appropriate sizing for wheelchairs? And if there's a playground, if it's for accessible equipment. Some of those I can provide answers for, and some of them I'll have to do some follow-up and get back to you.
Okay, so the ones that you can provide, Matt, are you able to just let committee know about those right now, and then we can provide an update later on as well?
Yes,
Starting with location, just the exact location, just for some of them to know for sure. Where is that going in the new Sunnydale subdivisions?
correct, Pacific Homes to be exact, and I can I'll show you on the screen here. I just got to get the plan, and this is why I'm attending virtually, so I can share things.
Speakers on this.
Okay, I can't hear him, so.
Pretty sure it's gonna be bringing up screen.
Yeah, if you want to share your screen, that works too.
He's gonna not look. It's very intense, very- I gotta tell the story.
Okay.
I can't hear it at all, but I don't have hearing aids.
All right, I'm sharing my screen. So block 243 is where the school will be located.
Okay,
So where the hand is there.
There's somewhere now.
I can't. That's the best. Yeah. Can you just speak as loud as you can too, Matt? Sorry.
Oh, sorry. The school will be located at block 243 in the subdivision
Okay.
where the cursor is located. So I'll zoom out. This is the whole this is the entire subdivision. And the school will be right here.
Okay. So that's off Sunnydale Road by kind of the cemetery. Is everybody familiar with that? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so Sunnydale Road is along here.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going where the graveyard
Yes.
is.
Yes.
And this
across.
is
Yep.
the River's Edge subdivision up here, and then which is like the north half of the Sunnydale Trail secondary plan.
Mhm.
And then the south half is Pacific Homes.
Matt, just one quick question. I remember Is that still the lower speed limit for the kids, or is that the 80 already?
Sorry?
Is, he's just asking the speed limit in that subdivision for the school, it'll be 40, right? A 40 speed limit?
I
Like you're
believe so,
gonna
yeah.
move the 80 speed limit sign further down, so they're not,
So this, sorry, this part will fall within like where the cemetery is, it's already lower there.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, just make
Okay.
sure, safety for the kids.
Yeah, no, you're
Yep.
talking about Sunnydale, right?
Yes,
Yeah, okay, I think Matt was thinking inside.
inside.
No,
Yeah.
no, I'm talking about Sunnydale, because we gotta make sure that the traffic is at least 40 by that entire like development stretch for kids' safety.
So because the lighthouse church is out there, it's actually slowed down to, is it 50 or 60 before it speeds up to 80 there?
I think it's 60.
Yeah.
Okay, now, Matt, I don't mean to jump in and, Fred, I
No,
apologize.
it's okay, yeah, go.
On that. It'll be something that I think. Works, or maybe this committee would have to put forward, because if you look at it, there's another roadway. In front of the school. And my thought process would be, that would be the 40, not Sunnydale. So. I mean, unlike where we've got, Mosley. In front of Worsley. That area is knocked down to a 40 from a 50, but I'm pretty sure that's too long of a stretch. Just to have it just grandfathered in as a 40, so that'd be something I think you'd have to approach council with. To drop it down.
So that's something our committee to motion, or do you have to do it as a council remark?
Well, it could come from the committee, most definitely. And I think it would be one of those things where. You guys could pose it through and then have. Public Works look at it.
Well, yeah, that could be a comment we can leave with Matt about one of the concerns that
Yes.
we have as this, like, that'll be a feedback. We can't make that happen, but we can say we would like,
Yeah.
we would like to see that. I think it will be like the flashing 40, like typical probably, but Matt, we can leave that comment with
Yeah.
you.
I can't speak to any of the
Oh.
speed
You can
limits.
speak to it.
Okay, Matt, you can speak to it?
No, well, I can't, unfortunately, I can't really provide any comment on speed limits. That I think that would be
Yeah.
something for
Okay,
Public Works.
My overall thought process is I still say that your 40 with the flashing signs is gonna be on that road.
Yeah.
That connects right with the school. It will not be on Sunnydale Road. You'll have to, put something together with a motion to have that area reduced. Probably where the intersection is. Maybe. 40 meters past it or something, but, no, out on Sunnydale, Matt. That's
Oh,
what I'm
okay.
Talking about there.
The school is
No.
not near Sunnydale.
But
No,
the problem is, kids might be walking.
Yeah.
And you try and cross that street, and
So-
mark it at 60, people do
Yeah.
80, you know that mark.
Okay.
Yeah, so to have Sunnydale go down to 40 kilometers an hour,
yeah,
that might be a little bit unrealistic.
yeah, that's something that's, first of all, I know, Matt, that's not your area. It's also, there's gonna be a requirement under the Highway Traffic Act and all that stuff, I'm sure, with Kevin.
Province, right? No.
Well, no, partway through it, it's I don't think it's like the highway road, right? It's a town road still, yeah.
No, and that would be county. And I can't see. I mean, as great as it would be, I mean, I pushed to try and get 40 in the whole town, but. With the subdivision and how it's laid out, as I can see, Matt, it looks like you've only got 2 egresses. Out from that part of the subdivision, I could be only wrong, only one, and the rest of it is interior streets. So, and if you think of Sunnydale, I think there's only one, the church. And a few other ones, unless they get people walking down, and I would argue that. The distances might be too great and they would be using buses anyway.
Mhm.
Well, sorry,
And most of the children in that going to that school will be in that subdivision,
Yeah,
Yeah,
so they're not going to be coming
yeah.
along Sunnydale.
We just have to be,
Some of you want the board, or you don't get?
yes, they will be.
Oh,
Yeah, I also confirmed that Sunnydale Road it is a county road past this subdivision for Pacific Homes. It's actually also a county road for part of the way past the River's Edge subdivision to the north.
Mhm.
Sorry, guys, it's just,
Yeah.
to me, a
Yeah.
60 becomes an 80 to people, you know that. And I just don't want to have a kid injured.
Yeah.
That's my big fear.
Yep.
Sorry, okay, go on, Matt, I'm sorry.
So Matt, in
I
terms
think
of
we can all agree on
the
that.
school itself, obviously the parking lot, we're meeting all of the accessible spaces. Are we going above and beyond? Are we just meeting the bare minimum?
I'll pull up the site plan for the school. No, that's only the details. I had it before. Um, That's electrical plan. I think, I believe it's just exceeding, but that's zoning matrix. It's got, the barrier-free spaces are, 5 spaces. So five accessible spaces. 3 spaces are required, so. Yeah, they have a surplus of 2 spaces. 17 classrooms.
Sorry, Matt, 1 second. I'm just gonna.
Oh, you got some feedback there. Yeah, so this is the zoning matrix that the applicants, the architects submitted with their application. And we verified this. They're required to have 3 barrier spaces and they're providing 5. For sorry, I wish I was more prepared for this. Oh, that's why it's in the first submission. Okay, so I show the site plan here, the barrier-free spaces. There's 3 spaces provided along the south entrance, because there's actually 2 entrances. This off of here, which is Season Crescent, is the parent. It's a one-way parent drop-off area, and then this. The north entrance is the bus loop and the staff parking. And there's a further 2 barrier spaces as part of the staff parking. And next to the barrier-free spaces, there's a crosswalk here. And we'll need to make sure that there's a crosswalk provided here. So yeah, that's the barrier-free spaces. For the floor plans, there is an elevator going to be provided. It is 2 stories. The school is 2 stories. As shown in the elevations. That's the 3D rendering of the school. And there will be an elevator provided in this hallway here next to across from the stairs, next to this bathroom. Bathrooms will be accessible as indicated by this turning radius circle for the wheelchairs. And then there's another washroom like that in the 2nd story. Okay, sorry, this is the 1st story. So library. There's an accessible washroom here. Elevator is in this spot. Accessible washroom here. And then of course there's the other accessible washroom in the 2nd story, which is here, and then the accessible stalls for the boys and girls washrooms. And I'll go back to the 1st floor because I noticed the 1st floor includes a sensory room for, students with autistic needs. The hallways and doorways, the sizing of the hallways and doorways, that will be confirmed of course, as part of the building permit review process. But the architects will ensure, of course, that they meet those Ontario Building Code requirements. That's pretty much all I have to provide right now. The playground details, I don't know if any of those have been, I guess, contemplated right now. Usually the playground, my understanding about school planning is that the playgrounds are usually determined at a much later stage in the game, but I'll ask about those details if the playground will include accessible equipment.
Matt? Can you hear me, Matt?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's John. I'm one of the committee members. I'm on Zoom, and with the silence on the other end, I'm wondering if we lost them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Can
we just,
can those in the council chambers hear me?
can you hear me now, Matt?
Yeah.
I just have to keep one muted and one not so that it doesn't
Okay.
back, but we were having a question about, oh, We were having a question about staff washrooms and if they're universal as well. Or universal, accessible.
I'm just looking here. Well, there is in the staff area here, there is universal accessibility.
Okay, so there is. And we have another question.
All the doors will have like accessibility buttons for people with disabilities.
Sorry, I can't hear you. You're cutting out there.
Like, all the doors, will they have the accessibility button?
Buttons.
You're having audio problems again. Oh, will the doors have accessory? I assume they will. I assume that that's probably an Ontario building code requirement. I mean, I note that most public buildings do have the push buttons, so I'm gonna say without absolute certainty, as I'm not obviously a building inspector, that they would. Hello?
We're good, Matt. Thank you.
Okay. And I'll let you know about the playground.
Yeah,
Sorry, we have one quick question, Matt.
Sure.
We'll just answer that here, Matt.
Okay.
Front doors, all the doors are locked. Generally now they have to be buzzed. Talk to them before they let them in. Any of the survivors, they've all installed. As far as the other stuff, one button, whatever, that's within the school. I don't know what the protocols are. I know I used to go in and talk to them about making it easy for staff and students. Don't make it overly arduous because people won't learn that. If you always move to your right, move your emergency button to the right, not the left, because that's not your normal process. Anyway, but they do have all schools.
hang on a sec, but she can answer that question. She's a teacher.
Our bathroom door is supposed to be locked at all times, so we'll lock the door. And keep it very simple, we have to say, when the lockdown, we just keep it code words, so our teachers, they know. And we practice with the kids.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Matt.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, have a good day.
You too, thanks.
Laura,
Oh, yep. Hi, John.
can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, I've lost my video though, for some reason.
Oh, we can see you.
We can see you.
Oh, yeah, I can't see you.
Huh.
I'm okay with that. Just, if nothing else is going on the screen, I can listen as long as everyone's speaking.
No,
up.
that was it for the screen stuff.
Okay, carry on.
Okay, thanks.
One more question. Yeah, the senior, you have some crosswalks here.
Yep.
Are they gonna, is there gonna be some kind of crossing guard with all cars coming in, dropping off kids and all that stuff?
I was gonna say, usually they pass that duty, right? Kind of like recess duty. They have to have someone outside always, right? For certain hours.
But like, there's people unloading buses, who's found unloading cars.
Yeah. Yep.
That's out of our preview anyways. That's the Board of Education.
But they do that. They're very good about that. Even when I was in public school a long time ago, they still did that. They had the vest, they had to wear the vest, the teacher, and go out and do the traffic control and stuff, so.
Okay, we continue on now.
Yes, back to
Town
you.
Hall, that's still ongoing, right?
The elevator, yes, yep,
Okay, the food drive.
lift.
Have we heard anything?
Yes, we, I thought I sent an email, maybe I didn't. We just hired our new grant specialist. We were not successful for the last application. I don't know if John, I know you applied for one too, but we were not successful. I don't know if Stainer was, but our new lady, I can't remember her name. I apologize, but I did speak with Jocelyn, and Jocelyn has given her special direction to really hunt out some accessible grants and anything we can apply to this next little bit. So we're really hoping to find some funding down the road shortly.
Just one quick question with that
Yeah.
elevator.
Mhm.
Aside from ripping it out for the new one, there's not much more you can do with that.
No, not without adding like a new wing to the building,
Yeah.
pretty
that's what I'm
much in
saying.
that
There's not much
space.
You can really do that. though.
No, which is why it was so expensive to do the upgrades there and why we're trying to look for that funding to help as well.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sorry, John, did you have an update? Did you guys hear back from Stainer?
I haven't talked to Stainer. The grant application went to Stainer Clearview.
Oh, okay.
So I haven't talked to them over there yet, but if you got a no, I haven't heard a yes, so I assume it's a no too.
Okay. All right.
Okay, carrying on, the food drive. If I just make a quick comment. Laura looked really good in the fire truck as a passenger.
Is the food drive on there?
Yeah.
Oh, no, you're looking at the old minutes. That's the minutes from last month. The agenda's on the front page,
Well, let's
Sorry.
talk about the food drive then.
but, oh, okay, yeah, we
Yeah, It was very successful. Laura
Yep.
looked really good sitting in the passenger seat of the fire truck.
felt
The
powerful.
firefighters were excellent. We raised
420 pounds
of food.
of food and we filled the truck.
And,
Like it was a great day. It was a little windy. We lost a couple things along the way, but Al and Fred were there too, which was great. And I know everybody had some commitments, but for what it was, and the whole crew of the fire guys showed up. Foodland was awesome, and I think it was a lot more food than I expected. That's for sure. Like I knew we would do well, but I think the community really stepped up there
I've
too.
had
So
some people come up to me that saw us at the food drive, asked us if we're gonna do another one.
Yep.
And I said, well, we
we're hoping to make
we
it.
hoping to. And then someone said, how about Walmart? And then talking to people, they're saying the best place to do it is at Foodland. Because Walmart won't take the time to do the prepackaged foods, and we have a lot of cash donations.
And
Yeah.
Foodland, they were awesome. They're very
Yeah.
welcoming for us to come back whenever, but they are kind of, we're able to put that stuff right out front for people driving by to see, like the fire trucks were able to park out front. If it's committee choice, we can move around and share the locations, I'm sure,
We got about $150 in donations, and what we did
But-
was, we just went right back in
and bought the
and
bags.
bought a
Yeah,
bag of food. And brought it out.
They were great to pre-package a bunch. I think they did
Yeah.
50 or 60 bags of pre-packed stuff so that people didn't have to go shopping. They could just grab one of the
We do
bags.
that all the time.
They do that year round for the food bank, which is great. I forgot to bring it, but the food bank did send us a letter thanking us very much for the effort towards and the difference it'll make. They were really appreciative, as well as, and Al can comment on that too. We had the Mobi chairs out and we got I got a lot of questions about
Yeah.
them. So just like we did at the seniors
All the seniors.
expo, we were shocked about how many people live here that still don't know.
Anyway, I don't want to beat the food drive. That,
Yeah, They were
it was
very,
very
yeah.
successful. People were excited. Like I said, I hold that food line again, only because we got about $150 in cash.
Yeah.
And we didn't, we couldn't keep it. We just turned around and Laura went right back in and bought more food. So, that's-
Well, we ended up like going for like, some feminine hygiene products and
Yeah.
cat and pet foods, things that people weren't probably included in the bag that would still make a difference. So I kind of tried to buy things that weren't food as well,
So,
diapers and
The
everything.
last thing on this part here is I think we should maybe consider one in September. The food bank really appreciated it and people appreciated us being out there. As a committee, so.
Yep.
All right, town hall, Mark. Councillor Mark. Accreditation and initiative. Accessibility update. I don't know what it is either.
I don't know if you had one. It's just a carryover item. I don't know if you have an update.
Yes, it's Mark.
Oh, yes,
I'm just messing. with you.
perfect. Okay, now I understand.
I'm just messing.
I actually don't have an update. I did send the stuff out. And I don't see any kind of an update on that yet. I could also do a little bit of an update with regards to the our plan that we put together to enhance accessibility in residences by offering grant money. I've sent that to Danny and Doug with the hopes that they'll review it. I did talk to George Van, and I'm gonna be sending it to him. I'm bad. Should have done it earlier before the meeting and that. Because I asked him, would you like to take a look at it? Because I know he's a supporter of it and he's seen policies heck of a lot more time than I have. So I'm gonna send it to him with hopes that if it goes to George, the overall boss will be able to get some motion below and get that moving as soon as possible. Really all it really needs is wordsmithing. I'd like to, but George says, I'll look at it if it makes sense. I'd like a blessing from our legal department, that we haven't said something wrong. And then it's just a motion to put the policy into place. Other updates, I am moving forward with the motion that's gonna be heard the next coordinated committee in July, with regards to having staff put together, one, a bylaw for it, you need a bylaw to reduce speeds, and two, getting staff to put reduced speed signs around all our neighborhood playgrounds. And I did a Google search of all our playgrounds, because again, yeah, I'm a counselor, but I know what they all are, right? So I do Google search, I find 10. What I don't find is Mill Park, which is just outside here. And I'm thinking, there's a neighborhood there. So I added that, and I added the sports one. Why? Because we've got a lot of youth there. And my argument is that from a community point of view, we try and ask our families to use the parks because they're great places to entertain all levels of youth. And a lot of them, for ease of access, are on the roadway. which makes sense. Well, why not afford the same, security that we do to our schools by dropping the speed limit to 40? So, it was read at council last month. It's gonna be debated and for the new committee in July, so my fingers are crossed that the rest of council will agree with my thought process. Sometimes it's flawed, but hopefully this one isn't, and we can move forward with that. So,
Now, Mark, while you're sitting there.
Excuse me,
Yep, John?
Oh, sorry, Mark.
can we push the microphone more towards Mark so I can hear?
Try again. How's that?
oh,
He was
I
just.
can hear you, Laura and Fred, really well. I just couldn't hear Mark very well.
He was just
Okay.
providing his update about, he provided a notice of motion to council last month about, reducing the speeds in front of all municipal playgrounds to 40 kilometers an hour.
Okay,
You know, just because we are encouraging people to go to playgrounds and parks and get outside, so that will come to council this month for, tabling and discussion.
okay, excellent.
I have a concern, regarding the accessibility accreditation initiative and the, funding for senior. We're coming to the end of our term. And when Mark's reelected to council, doesn't mean to say that he's going to be back on our committee. So, are we going to lose a lot of work because we'll be a whole new committee? We've only got 2 more meetings, right?
Yep.
August and September.
We could
And-
probably sneak an October one in right before, because the 24th is the last.
Okay,
Yeah,
so we may.
possibly
have
3,
third.
possibly.
But we're going to be a whole new committee. So I just wondering, how can we make sure that we haven't lost all the work that's gone into these 2 initiatives?
Mhm.
Because, I mean, Mark might be back as our council rep, but not necessarily. And he's been carrying the ball on these two initiatives.
I talked to Sylvia Bray about that. And she said, anything our committee's done now, the town's 100% on board with us. So she's hoping, not guaranteeing, hoping that what we're doing this year will sort of carry it.
So what
Yeah.
Al's saying is that, like, if, say that none of you return to come back, I'm just saying, what if, and if Mark's a
We
different
gotta pick a side
counselor.
now.
Well, no, but if everybody comes back new, like, I'm just a staff resource person. These are your projects. They're not my projects. So they're not like something that I do. So if Mark leaves and all of you are replaced and these are agenda items and new people come on, like, where are they picking up? Who's carrying that forward? That's,
That's my concern.
Yes.
I don't want what we've done for 4 years to be lost. And I see the potential of that.
Kind of out of our control. We don't know.
Yeah.
We
Well,
can't foresee that, right? We don't know what's,
No.
hopefully one of us get on and we can.
Yeah.
We know what's going on, and we can move forward.
What I'm thinking, and I shouldn't say this, but I'm thinking. Because this committee's done such phenomenal work in the last 4 years. We've had such a great counselor supporting us. Laura supporting us. I think if we put our names in, I find it unlikely that they would replace us, I mean, I could be wrong.
yeah, that's a council decision.
Yeah, it's a council
Yep.
decision, but I'm just saying. The amount of work that this committee has done phenomenally, and the comebacks I get from the public. That, because a lot of people know me, on the work we've done, the amount of work that Mark puts in this stuff, and Laura puts in this stuff. I think there'll at least be a couple of us on next year's committee still.
So like what I can guarantee to Al and everybody is that these items will remain as unfinished, even carrying over to a new term. Obviously, if say none of you choose to come back, that will be the new term of accessibility committee members' decision to carry those projects forward or not. We would have to have somebody willing to take that project over if Mark's not here, and if neither any of you are not here. They will remain on there, but if they come in and say, well, you know what? I get those projects, either 1, they don't want to deal with them right now, or 2, they don't want to do them, then they come off the agenda, right?
How the long is.
But I know what Al means. You're right. We're putting all this work into it for 3 more meetings, and if things don't continue on like they are now, those could all be for nothing. They
The
could-
long and short of it is, Al, what I see here is that we're gonna take a wait and see attitude.
Well, yes, we can take a wait and see attitude, but I just.
You want to see them implemented ASAP type thing?
Well, I just for some,
Commitment.
some, commitment to them or some way of ensuring that they are carried over to the new committee.
Yeah.
I know Mark's got a tremendous amount of, I'm sure you've got files on these things.
Yes.
You've got a lot up here, and
I have what you-
I'm just concerned that if you're not our representative next year, next council term, we may be starting a way back, and having to reinvent what we've already
Now,
done.
that's a good point. How can we do this? Can I leave Mark? Is there any way you could talk to the mayor, or deputy mayor, and just see
Well, what I'll
how
do,
our projects go forward?
so I keep them on the agenda. They will remain on the agenda as, if we don't roll them out, they will always be on there as unfinished business, just like the elevator. And the elevator will still be there next year too, right? Next term, sorry.
Yeah. No, I understand
And
that.
then
Yeah.
new people can consider to go forward with it or. to-
So if everybody's new and they say, what are these unfinished items, then that's my role and the new counselor's role that would inherit the files to say, this is the project we started, here's what it's about. Who's looking to take that over, like who wants to run with that and take that initiative on? Or if it's not something that's already rolled out, who do they want to continue with it? You're right. But it will be there,
Good point, though.
Will be
I
there,
understand it will still be
Yeah.
on.
but all that work we've done up to date, yeah.
Yes, Vic.
I was saying, well, what is the process? I would get back, let's say we all want to get. Yeah, we can get this one.
So, in September, we will be finalizing, the committee, advertisements and all the rules and stuff that are like the protocol and procedures. There'll be an advertisement, all the committees that are currently under council, the reps will be bringing applications. Like I did last time for some of you guys, I'll put a pile in there, you can take one with you if you want to reapply, just fill them out and give them back to us. Then we wait till the new term of council is in place and they review the applicants and they're selected for committees. So if only 8 people apply, we will do those 8 people, but if there's 50 that apply for this committee, that's, even though you've been a serving member, that is definitely taken into consideration, but if it's a new council, they might want to see new faces at all the tables. We don't know. I'm not saying that's gonna happen, but that happens. So you're not guaranteed your positions, but you are highly encouraged to come back again if you are still looking for that commitment to our fabulous.
Okay, Al, is that your question?
We'll do our
No, I
best.
just wanted to bring it forward that
Yep.
that's.
I'll make sure.
That, I don't want the work we've done to get lost somehow.
Be going vain.
Well, I'll make sure that pending whatever Mark's decision is this fall, I'll get all of his files anyway, so that I have them with me
Perfect.
for our new rep and our new people. Yeah.
Hey, Mark, you're up. Council update.
Oh, council.
Yeah, you weren't at the last meeting, so.
Well,
you got lost.
they're a lovely group of people. Well, I think what's happening at council right now is we're doing our best to look at, again, as Al said, we're coming to a close of chapter and how we can keep the priorities that the council set 4 years ago, whether or not they've been moved forward, how they're working out, whether or not we can complete some before the term is over. We're looking at that. But I think overall, council as a whole, are working, like I said, on initiatives that we've had for the last couple of years, just tidying them up. One thing of note is, like this group, we are sitting together again, which is unique, after 2 years of not. We are, as a council, we're still, I wouldn't say struggling, but there are some glitches in the hybrid approach with regards to making sure our residents can view, we can get people in, but keeping the best, ability to respond to concerns. And we are, even through the code thing. We've had petitions, and a lot of times it's one of those things where you see a petition, good idea. But I think all petitions end up going back to staff so that they can review it because they know what they're talking about, not necessarily us. And they can provide good, solid information back to council to make that decision. So that's my opinion.
Just in regards to that, Fred,
You've got a,
Yeah.
glucose?
Oh, good.
you're good.
I'm diabetic.
I don't know if Mark saw his email this morning, but we, I just sent it out today, so, I promise this will be a little bit different next month. This is just, we are jumping in here today and IT is going to be helping me with the audio and visual a little bit better next time, but as of this month, the council is now moving into phase 2, which means council is in person and anybody who has signed up to be a speaker, presenter, petition, passer honor, whatever, they can all come in person now for those meetings. So that will start this month. All the advisory committees, you still can't just walk in and be sitting there. If you're signed up to provide an update or be here for a reason, then we're letting that, we're kind of moving to that phase. And hopefully in the next month or two, we'll be just kind of
Gavin is walking
fully.
in, sit back.
Well, yeah, you'll be here for your, but the people who are coming in, who are signed up, we're not just saying, you know, okay, now you can go. They'll still be invited to remain in the audience after their presentation. As of
Okay.
committees, we're one of the first ones to now meet in person. All the other ones will be rolling out in the next month too, and they'll all be meeting in here. And we will be live streaming on YouTube now going forward. So people who aren't signed up to be here in person will now be able to participate, or I still have to log into Zoom, but we'll now be live, just like the meetings of council are. And everybody's getting training on that.
Okay, Laura, if you're speaking, you
Yeah.
got enough to bring up from the town. On your.
Yes, one thing I want to add to next month's meeting, I've had a high amount of letters from some residents in the Allenwood, New Wasaga Beach area. Obviously last year or the year before, because the water levels were so high, we were able to put out the mats at a bunch of beaches. And that was a really bonus and beneficial thing to those residents. Now they've been, you know, taken back and placed to where they were originally purchased for, beach 1 and 5, and I think one other section. And now we're getting a lot of them saying, well, you know, we want them in our beach. How is it fair to have them here and not there? So I spoke with the parks, and if committee supportive of it, which we can't talk about it today, but I want to put it on next meeting, is that I'm going to look for us to put some of our budget next year towards the purchase of a new section of mat to specifically be delegated to the Allenwood, New Wasaga Beach area, and the parks will know that, so they will always put that out at that area own as well.
The only place we can put the mats, because when we originally got them, we toured the beach. The only place we can't put them is where those big things grow. Because
Yes.
the
Yes,
park said that if we put them there, they will get damaged and it would be a horrible negative effect.
it would
on the
be.
beach.
Yeah, they're very expensive.
You know, consequence.
We're looking at a substantial amount of money, so that's something I have to budget for. So I just want to put it on the next meeting for us to discuss about committee support and budgeting for that and the location.
And the other thing
that's
too,
my-
we looked at, when we originally put the mats down, the main thing we looked at was bathroom accessibility. Because, you know, some people in walkers, maybe you can't walk that far, or the bathroom might be where you're going through sand. So originally Beach 2 came up because it was really accessible to that bathroom right there. And so those are the two criteria we have when we put the mats down originally, 4 or 5 years
Yeah,
ago.
so
6
the
years
original
ago.
spots are still being maintained. We just had that lucky year where, I wouldn't say lucky, the water was really high, but we were able to cut all the mats in half, like section them in half and put them at a whole bunch of beaches, and people really were excited and happy to see that. And now we've kind of taken that away. And I guess there was a high usage of that in the Allenwood, New Wasaga area.
If there's a need for it.
Right?
then-
Oh, yeah.
So I'd like to put that on for
Like
discussion.
I said, the two places they cannot go is if they're not near an accessible bathroom, which is a priority, right?
Which there
and-
is down at that beach.
Yeah, and those dunes, apparently the park said If we put mats in that beach and those get damaged, there would be a horrible negative effect on the beach itself.
Yes, there would be, yeah.
This way,
Excuse me. But I want to bring it up. Going along, right there, where Tim Hortons is, there's a space, I say maybe a really wall there. I'm just saying. So if somebody's on the scooter, you can't get to the, like, so you go where it starts to walk, and then you go under the boardwalk. On the where Tim Hortons is, if you go into that area there.
Yeah, there's like a little covered porch area in there.
But what I'm saying is not concrete, like they have a sidewalk, but it ends, there's just sand. And it's really loose sand.
Is there supposed to be a pavement underneath it?
I don't,
Okay.
I don't know.
We did just get a call down there. I know that George was sending out the guys to take a look, so there should be a clear cut walkway from the beach to all the way to Spruce. Yeah.
or
A month?
put that on next month's agenda.
Well, that would just be maintenance. I'll just make sure that the guys go down and check on the
Well, no,
maintenance.
it's put it down so you can bring it forward.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Well, I can just send an email to you guys today saying, hey, the foremans are gonna go down and check the sweeping today. But you're right, there should be an unobstructed, is that a word? Unobstructed access the whole way from the beach to Spruce Street. That's what we, with closing Beach Drive, that was what we were guaranteed to have.
Stuck there, and let people walk by.
We're able to push it through. Okay, I'll do that today, Vic.
You got one?
Sure. Any other member updates quickly? Kevin, do you have one before you go?
No, I'm
You're
okay.
good? Okay.
Thanks, Kevin. Have a good day, bud.
Al, bye, thank you.
I just have, speaking of money, we have a budget.
5,000.
5,000, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it doesn't roll over. You don't use the 5,000.
Right, okay.
No, so we did use it for the radio contest, the
Okay.
swag and something else this year, but
That was my other question about the radio contest.
yes.
What feedback did we get from that? Anything from the radio station? Did they feel it was
You got my email, right? Did I say
successful?
something? I think I sent one out to everybody, maybe. It was a while. It was right after it happened. The Thomas? So he reached out to say that they had really good feedback and calls in from based on their statistics. Their site was visited a decent amount. He did say a number. He said it was, it was a positive feedback. They always had people for every question and call, like at least an average of 10 plus people. And then the grand prize winner, obviously, when he talked to them, was very grateful. And some of you might have met him at the flag raising, Jeff, that attended, that he won the master prize, the grand prize. So Tomas said it was a great thing. And if we were interested in doing it again in a different way, they were open to helping us and doing that again.
You know more. You got anything else to put up there? Or you good?
Nope, I'm good. Vic, anything?
Yeah, I got some others
Sure.
to talk about.
Yep.
May sound like a broken record. These things we talked about before.
Mhm.
For example, okay, last time we talked about the view and the silhouette trails. And what I mentioned to you, that a good Samaritan came along and sprayed right into the poison ivy along the trail.
Yep.
And we brought somebody in here. And they said, oh, no, we spray them every spring. You guys remember that?
Steve, yeah, Steve came in and
And
talked.
he said, well, this, he came, this was last year.
Yep.
This year, 'cause I go there a lot, I go down, we do that job, I say 4 out of 5, 7 days, I go on. And he did, Good Samaritan did it again, and I'm starting to wash off, but there's no way that thing was spread, or was sprayed, because there's more sprayed this year than it was last year, so there was no way that whoever said he was gonna spray in the spring, he has not sprayed.
Okay, I'm just gonna send
Okay,
a.
so, and if he did, I can't believe how much orange is wrong with that, this spray can, this, what's there, does.
Okay,
And the second point, this one we talked about, the counselor, the entrance to Boulevard. That place is becoming busier with shops, and now you've got the retirement home or something that they're building back there.
Yep.
And I did something with Foodland about a week ago.
Mhm.
And I know that you couldn't get off at the sidewalk, so I went on the road. Now, cars are making left and right hand turns, so it's not like they can see it, if it's a straight run, they can see you, they have enough time. A guy actually beat this one. Because like, that I should have been there
mhm,
on the road.
Yep.
So what I'm saying, we need to do something about that, especially with that project getting busier and busier.
Did you talk to Kevin about that? Didn't you say you had a conversation with Kevin about the curb?
The problem I see is,
My conversation was whether or not sidewalk.
the problem I see
Oh.
with that, Laura,
It's not, I saw it, there's a part, but where with some kind of a asphalt or something, it wouldn't affect any parking. And even if, you never see parking that much in that plaza, it never gets to there.
the only problem I see with that is, and this is what I was focusing on the county committee, is we have say on any town Wasaga Beach property,
I think it's ours.
we can ask them, if it's ours, then we got say, but if that is not our property, if it's Foodland's property, then you can ask them, but they're not obligated to change it.
But all due respect, when something's dangerous, somebody gets hit with a scooter or with a car, but like I say, they're gonna bring, and like pushing the rock hand to it, you did not see that person go right up there.
I understand that, Vic, all I'm saying.
So
is
what I can
We
do,
have to approach them, like I said, if it's our property, we can do something about it. If
so
it's
what
their
I'll,
property, we can suggest it.
yeah, what I'll do, Vic,
Yeah.
is I just did this yesterday. A lady called me and I booked an appointment with Gerald, who's our manager of public works. And we met her on scene for a concern she had. I'll book something with you and me and Gerald and you can come show us. And that way Gerald, who's very good with all this stuff, if it's something he's like, oh no, yep, that's on the books now, we're gonna get it done. Will that work for you? And you can show me in person? Okay,
That's what I'm saying, Vic,
I'll just
if
do that.
it's their property, we can suggest,
Mark.
but they're not obligated to do anything. That's the sad thing.
They are?
Safety is going almost to the end, where almost to a retirement home, and go all the way around.
Yep.
But still, you're gonna be in the mall or in the mall. I mean,
Yeah.
like, there's still a lot of cars.
Yep.
But to me, a lot of people won't do that. They go on the road, especially taking a like I do.
But you know what's more dangerous? You know that Tim Hortons in the Walmart parking lot? I was there the other day, the wheelchair was gonna run over, because they're lining up on the street to go through the drive-through, so now wheelchairs have to try and cross over without getting hit by a car, because sometimes there are 4 or 5 cars that line up on the street to get into the drive-through, and the guy he was very close to getting nailed.
yeah.
And that
No,
was-
we'll do a site meeting, Vic. I'll set it up. It'll definitely be within the next week, because Gerald's really good about that.
That's good. Thanks.
Jen, do you have any? update?
I can have one more.
Yes, yes.
I was just on email, the EA that's actually in my classroom was on the news, last week, she made these communication boards that we
You
put
speak
up
up
at
a
our
little
school.
bit, I think.
We put up communication boards at our school for children that are nonverbal.
Yeah.
So they're bored, they have text symbols that they're used to, it has like happy, sad, angry, tired, hungry, walk through, stuff like that. So the kids can go to these boards and point to what they need. And she was on CTV News about it, we put up 2 at our school for our nonverbal children with autism. And, we're hoping, or she's hoping that it will catch on to more parks and things like that, so just wanted you guys to look at it, something that we may consider having made up or having her make them up and charging the price or whatever. For children using parks so that they can communicate.
Even if maybe one of their members who are,
Oh, you're talking about.
Used to it out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what we did was we put them in our kindergarten yard, we have one, and we have one in other yard, and children can speak through the pictures to adults and other children.
which I think would be great at our parks. I hope the school board catches on and does that for school, but I think for us, maybe to show, like, I'll put it on for the next meeting about potentially budgeting to look at these. Maybe we could bring in pictures or I know I have that video, I can link the video, but I think that would be great for parks, especially if your support person maybe isn't with you that day and someone else is there and you're trying to communicate, but that board is there to help, or like if someone knows to go to the park because that's got a board to help.
Yeah, they're lost or
Yeah.
something like that. She made it herself. And then we had it printed at the local business.
Yeah.
And they're very durable. They're supposed to last at least 10 years. The ones
Okay.
we had made, and we screwed it right into the.
So
school
it
wall.
gets mounted,
It's mounted right on the wall of the school.
no, like in the playground, you mount it.
Yeah, you mount it.
Yeah. We could figure that out.
Yeah, the sign for the program. We could look at the symbols that are on it, we could change it. She had some feedback from a couple of students. Where she put. But it shows pictures of faces, well, they wanted to have different face colors.
Yep.
Inclusivity. Inclusivity, another student brought up, that she only had boy and girl, and then we have.
Universal image or whatever it
Yeah.
is,
How many nonverbal kids are in the teacher, you know? You got any
I
idea?
don't know, and I know at my school, we have, I don't know, probably 3, 4, and we have definitely have some coming in this year.
No,
Thank you.
please.
Do you know how much it costs to have James boards made?
It wasn't too bad, it was, you know, Jen?
Yes,
Yeah.
I've known her from the
Okay,
time she
so
was.
this year, I did, I
was a
took
girl.
my classroom this year and they were about 100. It wasn't too bad, it was
Yeah.
surprising actually, they were about 130, 150 pieces.
So that's what we can take out of our budget.
And we've got what, 12, 13 parks in
Sure.
town?
That's-
Yeah, that's something, yeah, that's what I mean by putting it on as a future item for discussion. And just so you guys know, here at Town Hall, we actually have laminated cards like that for our taxpayers. And they say things like payment, you know, parking ticket, business license. So we do have a version of that here, but it would be nice to maybe invite her even to work with us.
Yeah.
For one of our meetings to help design a special one for us and our parks here. And
Yeah, she makes a lot of adaptive museums, and she's been doing them as kind of. But
Yep.
she would definitely love to work with us, we could, you know, just some of the beach, whatever.
exactly.
Thank you, Jen.
So, you know, the only thing I would add is, since our Sega sign like that.
Yeah, so the thing about.
Yeah,
To put some kind of, well,
Maybe your
Color.
class, yeah.
so that,
it's like right in the classic, so we took them off for the summer, you know,
For that reason?
same,
Mhm.
yeah. So they were only on for a couple weeks before we took them down, but, I thought it was going to be kind of like a vinyl on top of the
Mhm.
plastic, but it's not, it's like right in the plastic, so we can, so.
We can look at material.
Like,
Yeah.
think of like a plexiglass at the top,
Yeah.
kind of thing, and then.
That's something you can address when you get further. into this.
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Okay, Mark, you got anything else?
No, we missed John. What about you,
Oh,
John?
John, got it?
Hi, yeah, I was just gonna mention, I sent an email to you, or just in case, I wasn't able to attend the meeting, but, the feedback at the senior show on the Mobi chair was, you know, great that they knew it existed now, but then the next question was also, how do we get in contact with how to rent them? And, so I'm not sure the, access telephone number or internet, you know, whatever means we're going to use to rent the chairs. This is immediately obvious, so I think we need to work on that. So
Yes, and just to answer on that one, I'm hoping by the end of this week, but we did design a little special feature on our accessibility page to link it to the parks. So that if it says, you know, like there's a picture of the Mobi chair and for information, click here, and that way they'll be put in contact with the parks office, as well as Mark's videos now live on social media as well, posting to, if they're interested in these accessible chairs, to head over to the parks office.
Talking about the chairs, what I was gonna bring up, Laura, is at the food drive and at that fair we had, I got a lot of comments from people who are up from the city and said that, why can't it be advertised, like, let's say Brampton's webpage, right? So I'll bring it up. Is there any way we could, you know, where we contact the towns, like?
You'd be surprised how many of them are doing it now. They reach out to us to
Because
say
people had
where.
no idea we had them from Brampton.
Yeah.
Mississauga, that.
Last week alone, I got 2 phone calls from, you know, Christian Island was one and somewhere else about where our suppliers are from, because these are actually like popping up everywhere now. I can't say if they reach out to us and they want to add, and they want information, we can do that, but I can't really say we can go on their
So
websites
that's
to
all
be
I'm saying is
referred,
that
but
if people are saying, can we not somehow advertise, let's say in Peel Region, that we have the chair, so when people leave Brampton, they know they can bring the disabled person with them and have those chairs. People are saying they have no idea we even have the chairs, because they're only advertised locally, right?
Yeah, we're just.
So they
we're
were
just-
just wondering, is there any way we could do something where,
You're just looking at, I mean, unfortunately, that's gonna be a lot of advertising fee and money and approval from
no, I mean, like,
council.
let's say.
Yeah, I just think that's on our website and
I
some,
did, yeah, I'm just-
everybody Googles nowadays. They can Google it, they can, take right to our website.
Yep.
And
Can we not contact the mayor or whatever, let's say, and that they can put it on their website?
I just, our committee's mandate is to do the town of Wasaga Beach. I get what you mean by promoting it everywhere, but for us to go beyond our measures now. to
I
like-
understand that. I just feel bad for people. that
But
aren't-
I've just
there's
created a
one up
page.
That they
Yeah.
don't realize we have these. kids.
So most people are gonna research before, I mean, a lot do before they come, but now I've created a whole link on the page too.
I love the dialogue.
Hmm.
I just thought of two things. And I don't. Number one is that information, and I mean, Mike Jennings might be able to tell us, on 211. Whether or not that kind of information, if you hit 211, you could find out. That's number one. Number two, which I almost lost. We may not have the budget. And there is one agency that I know that goes outside the community because they want to help the businesses draw in visitors, is our development officer. If we could talk to that lovely person and see whether or not she could pump it out with their,
Economic.
yeah, with some of their advertisement that I know they do go out. And within our businesses that they contact, because the businesses are reaching out. And if a business needs to be unique, they will draw on unique stuff like the chair and the Mobi-Mats to draw people in. So those are my two thoughts on that.
Okay, thank you, Mark.
I have a question. So you created a page that's linked from the accessibility.
It's gonna be a little have you heard, we have this, and then when they click on that, it'll take them to the park site, because the parks does the rentals and their locations, if they change them and stuff, they have their page. So our page will lead them to their page.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, when people are doing a group research, like what to do with this, like maybe should like say. And if tourism comes up or something, maybe
Yeah.
the link can be added to that page.
So what Mark was just saying, which I just wrote down, is I can talk to Caitlin, because Caitlin has an economic development page, which is linked with special events. So I will see if she can link that same button to her page. That way it's shared on all of them.
Anybody else want to comment on that?
Okay.
John, you got anything else you want to bring up?
Oh, that's all. Thanks.
All right. That's all she wrote.
The only thing I want to say is the food drive and fair we did was completely successful. And just want to thank everybody. And are we going to the one in October, September? Are they holding it, the GND? Have you heard anything?
I didn't get an update. Does anybody know? I haven't seen them that they are. Usually they send me every year if they are. They might still be in that awkward, like coming out of COVID phase, like most people are. I'll email, can't remember his name, Pat, maybe it was Pat or something like that. But usually he sends right away like, hey Laura, do you guys want a booth this year? I haven't seen that, but I will follow up with you for you guys.
Okay, well, our next
Jenny.
meeting is August 4th. So be there or be square.
In person, and it'll be better audio. Yes, here.
This-
Going
this is-
forward, it'll be here.
It's a good place to meet.
Yep. Thanks, John.
Okey dokey.
All right.
Meeting
All right.
adjourned.
Meeting adjourned.
Maybe you know, Mara, and this is, are we off?
Are we done? Okay. I just wasn't sure if it was, there we go. Now we're done.
Economic development. If there's, what does that do? Probably need time to report.
Oh, it's just for my computer to log in.
You know where that cat's at?
We just had the presentation, right? The branding presentation last month. They showed the new envelope, the new logos.
Okay.
And I think that was just her update, and she's coming back with a narrowed down selection of, I don't know if you saw them, it's like the new WB.
No, because,
Okay.
I mean, I was on 4 Zoom
Yep.
meetings for that, and with the whole branding thing.
Yep.
And then I haven't heard anything now for
So the
Yeah.
branding, they invited the consultants who came last month to give us a first round presentation. And then Caitlin advised that was the update and they're coming back. So I can share you that slideshow and the pictures if you want those. Yep,
Well, it was, they did a good job.
they did. They look great, some of them.
Yeah.
Branding
Everybody
report.
wanna go to New Kids Concert?
I'll send it to you. You can see the pictures
Would you?
and stuff.
I mean, and I mean, I know that there were different people that I would. different
Yes,
meetings,
for that
so
public
I may
consultation
not
and
be
stuff.
Still
Yep.
on.
Well, it would have been nice to just say, hey, thanks, it's going forward at this meeting.
Yeah.
And then I'll tell Caitlin if she can let you know when it's on the next meeting, so you have that.
But
time.
maybe I'm not included anymore.
But if you were part of it, like maybe just as an update to
Well,
those who were
yeah, just-
participating,
Just,
yeah,
you know,
I
one.
can do
where-
that. Where it
where
left
it's
off,
going.
So we got August meeting and September's meeting, right?
And
and potentially the
still,
October,
still,
yeah.
it's still on.
When's the
schedule.
election? What day?
Yeah.
October 24th.
It's looking good.
Really putting the, you know, the sides on, no, it's,
Oh, the casino?
no.
No, the other bill.
How many, speaking of the casino, how many layers of siding do they put on that casino?
Oh, I have